What's up, y'all? We live and we back
We're back.
all day long. Episode 3. Boy, time be flying.
Did anybody watch the first?
Yeah, they watched it. They watched the first. They watched the second. Now they're about to watch the third.
All
so,
right.
you know, I'm loving it. I love the feedback everybody's giving us. They own it. So we're going to keep the party rolling, you know. So, still don't have a name, but that's okay. We'll get one. Basically what we need y'all to do, we need your help. We need everybody's help. You know, post it in the comments. Let us know what you think the name should be. Ron Pittman, Jessica Lettieri, Coastal Concierge Group.
That's kind of boring.
That ain't the name. I'm just saying where we work at. That's not the name of the podcast. I was just introducing who we were.
We'll figure out what we're doing.
We'll get it.
We're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants here.
I don't think we're doing all that yet. I think we got a little bit of some type of structure. We're getting better.
We'll see.
Rock with us.
Yeah.
So, what's up, ma'am?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm freezing.
You're freezing?
Yes,
It's cold as a mug
like
in this
winter.
jank.
It was snowing.
We ain't even gonna go there right now.
The only time I want to be in snow is like when I'm like skiing.
Skiing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
it.
skiing.
No
So,
more.
I've never been. I want to go.
Virginia.
I think we're gonna go this year.
Have you ever been skiing?
I've never been skiing, and I look. I talk like I'm about it, but for real, I'm scared to
take
death.
a lesson.
I'm scared
Take
to
a
death.
lesson.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it. So we back again. You know. All right, here we go, y'all. Boring stat alerts. Look, that's the whole point of this, right? We want to give them some real estate stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
We need to.
You're the numbers guru, though. So
I like numbers.
I know you
do.
love numbers. We were talking about numbers when we were planning to do this, and the way your eyes lit up, I was like, "Oh, somebody's a finance major for real." Was it finance? It's finance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's super boring. Nobody really cares about numbers.
Yeah.
But there are a few people out there that do. And I think right now it's great for sellers. The
you
market's
make
great.
numbers fun.
Not really.
I
but,
think so.
yeah.
Market is fun.
Listen, if you want to sell your house, now's a great time to sell
Let's
it.
go.
Yes.
If you want to sell your house,
Yes.
now is the time. So I don't know.
Inventory is down. It's down quite a bit. I believe it is down almost 16% right now
Really?
from last year.
So what does
I think
that
the
do?
numbers just came out from October last year to this year, so we're down about 16%.
So how does that play with home prices
Well,
and things like
obviously,
that?
it's a law of like supply and demand, so it's going to increase your home values.
Which is a good thing.
Which
I
is a
always
great
like
thing.
that.
And then, you know, just because the inventory is lower, we're seeing even more sales though than last year.
Okay.
So I think we're close to 15% in pending sales from last year to this year. We are up. So that's definitely a good thing.
Up is always good. I
we
love
need
it.
houses. We need to sell.
We
like,
do need
you know,
houses. I know it's becoming harder for some buyers sometimes, but
Oh, I was wrong. Pending sales are up 21%.
21%?
Yes.
For real?
This is October stats from October 2018 to October 2019. So,
Okay. I ain't
yeah,
mad
if
at
you're on
that.
the fence about selling, I mean, this might be the time. And a lot of people, I think, don't put their home on the market in the winter or, you know, holiday time because they think nobody's looking.
Yeah.
But
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that's weird to me. Well, it's not weird. It's normal to me now. The fourth quarter has always been my best quarter.
Right.
But I think part of that plays into the fact that we are in Hampton Roads. This is the largest military area, if not the country.
Right.
Actually, I want to say the world. Actually, we have a
we
higher
have a lot of
concentration.
bases.
Yeah,
I think there are
seven bases.
military bases in the area.
Yeah, highest
So
concentration of military people.
we are shielded a lot from, you know, outside things that other cities, other countries have to face with as far as like, you know, possible recession coming up next year. That's a big thing.
Let's jump into that. So I keep hearing that. People keep saying, oh, there's a possible recession. What are we going to do? I've had some people kind of scared, you know,
Right.
to list their home or to buy a home, should I say, because they say, oh, I think a recession is looming. I don't know. I was looking at it, doing some research, and I actually found that.
What'd you come up with?
Look at me trying to
What'd
be
you
like
come
you,
up
get a
with?
little bit of doing a little bit of research, digging into numbers. But no, for real. Actually, I found that during the last 6 recessions, I'm sorry, during 5 of the last 6 recessions, home prices have actually increased. So if you're looking to buy a house, sell a house, especially in our area, again, I think we're insulated because we do have such a large contingent of military people here. So again, 5 out of 6.
It's a transient town, so you're always going to have people coming and going here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For me though, I think that one where we didn't see you cold.
cold in
It's
here.
cold as a mug over this joint. But no, I do think that the one recession where we didn't go was probably that last one, which I think honestly probably scares a lot of people. They hear recession and they automatically think 05, 06.
Right.
Which, if you look at it, was kind of the real estate industry's fault.
Yes, it was a credit crisis. We were giving loans to people.
Bro,
that
everybody got a
didn't
loan.
need one.
Everybody got a
You
loan.
literally had to have a pulse, and that was about it.
Do you know in some instances people were getting loans for 130% of the value of the house?
Yeah, it
Like,
was
just
really
think about
scary.
that. And they was working at Taco Bell.
I don't know how they thought that was going to last.
Which
Right?
look, I'm gonna be honest, and that's no disrespect to nobody working at Taco Bell. That was my very first job. You know what I'm saying?
I heard other industries that had stated income that could.
Everybody was doing it. You
here's
basically
$500,000
walk in and
for a
say,
home.
"Look, I'm
You
just
got a lot of
saying,
cash.
my first job was Taco Bell, and I guarantee you this." There was no way in the world I qualified for a $350,000 house.
Right.
But people did,
Yeah.
and that kind of dropped the bottom out. But I'll say this, right now it's probably a little bit tougher to get a mortgage, which
Definitely.
again,
They somewhat fixed that after.
but it's a good thing,
cash.
it's a good
Yes.
thing that insulates us from having those situations
Right.
in those instances like that. I mean, you got to, what is Elba talking about? Hey,
movie.
Elba.
The Big Short.
Too big,
It's a
too
great.
big to fail?
No,
Wait, what?
The Big Short. It's a great movie.
I just saw it like 2
Yes.
weeks ago. Incredible.
Really?
Excellent. It'll
That
tell
it's
you.
actually happening again. I just forget. It was like the last line of the mortgage. And
Yeah.
they're saying it's actually happening again. You gotta tell them what
Okay, The Big Short, because I was going to say
It was a
Elba
great
didn't
movie.
hear
Yeah, it
us.
talked about the housing crisis, what happened.
Hold on,
know.
real quick. I just wanted to say, hey, Elba, we're shooting a podcast right now. I'm just messing with
Is
you. You know I'm
everybody
playing.
having a few cocktails
You-
over there? Is
That what's going on? I hope not. No.
Too many cocktails.
Yeah.
No, but I think right now, even the recession, that just the talk about a recession sometimes
scares
can
people.
spark a recession.
You're
People
so right.
start, they'll cut back on their spending. They think it's going to happen. Unemployment's low. I think the biggest indicator of a recession, though, is what they talk about: treasury bonds with an might sound smart. Inverted.
Wait, did you say you might
I
sound
might sound
smart? You are smart. What are you talking about? You got a whole degree. Don't you got like 2 of them?
An
I might sound
inverted
smart.
yield curve, meaning that the treasury bonds, you're getting a greater return on your short-term interest rate or your short-term return than a long-term. So say you would get a greater return for a 2-year bond than a 10-year. People just aren't sure what's going to happen in 10 years. So I think consumer confidence is kind of low, but unemployment's low. So we'll see. I don't know.
That's actually crazy that you say that, because when you look at our economy as a whole, we're actually in a 10-year expansion. I mean,
Right. The stock market's been
since
doing great.
2009, we've had 10 years of growth. I think we're actually probably getting ready to trend into our 11th year.
Yeah. But what goes up must come down at some point. So, I mean, this is just the cyclical nature of
True.
economies. So we'll probably go through it again. I don't think it's going to be as bad.
Nah, I definitely, it's definitely not going to be
seems
as
like
bad.
Every other article you read, though, one person's saying, yes, we're going into a recession. I don't think it's going to be as bad next year. And interest rates are still low. So it's still a good time to buy. And they're below 4%.
I agree. 90 seconds on what?
We talking too much.
We're going way past that. But look, things are good. I ain't gonna lie. Buyers are happy. Sellers are happy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're still in a good market. Again, just where we're at, we're kind of insulated
Time will
from that.
tell.
So at the end of the day, that's the only thing. So look, our producers over here talking about 90 seconds.
Hurry
Y'all
up.
got to wrap it up. Look, bruh.
You got someone important to bring
We're going to
on.
be way past
I
that.
gotta go
do,
warm up.
We do got some good guests, though,
Yes.
but If anybody, and so look, for all y'all who've been watching the podcast, go back to the very first podcast and this one right here.
What
Try
did I
to
do?
you try to.
Oh,
You try to throw
I know where
shade.
you're
You know where I'm
going.
going. You
were talking about
already
some
know.
football
You
real
know
quick.
it. Let's
Yeah.
go. Football time. Try to throw shade
I
on
was
them
just probably
Niners.
shaded some guy I used to date that liked them, and I was just like, I don't like the Niners. They suck. But no, yeah, I was totally wrong. I'm so happy.
Hey,
for
them
your
boys
team this
balling.
year.
Them boys balling.
And that game the other night was amazing.
Took the first L, but that's okay. It was a good game.
He didn't deserve it.
Nah.
That poor kicker. I mean, he's a rookie. Like,
Hey, but it's the
that
NFL.
much pressure at the end of the game. I
It's
mean,
the
you're in
NFL. You
overtime.
got to come through in the
That's
clutch.
tough.
My
It's
man
tough.
Russell Wilson came through in the clutch. You know, you can't give him the ball 3
I
times
don't
in
know.
overtime. So
we'll see. I really would love to see you guys. In
I
a
would
Super Bowl
too.
again.
You know what would really be great? The 49ers versus the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
I don't think
Not
my
gonna
Eagles
happen.
are gonna make it to.
Not going to
We are
happen
in the
this year.
hunt, but you know the Cowboys lost, so that we're both our records are the same. But we'll see what happens.
We'll
I
go-
don't know.
look.
I'm not expecting. I'm still riding high from 2 seasons ago. We finally got a Super Bowl.
seasons
I can
ago.
die happy. So yeah.
You're just going to
I'll
ride
take
on
that.
that.
Well, that's what we all do. We waited that long to get a Super Bowl ring. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So look, we had Aaron Rouse on last
We
month,
did.
which was a great show. Everybody loved it. Lots of good information. I love what my man is doing for the city. One of his big things was that we needed to get out and vote, and we just recently had an election here
did.
in Virginia Beach. Did you vote?
I
Did
was
you
just
do?
about to say, did you vote?
I voted. I have my little sticker and
Yes,
everything.
I did vote.
All right, make sure you're doing your civic duty.
I typically take my kids with me.
Yeah,
I have been since they were like babies, and they're like
I hope
I don't want
so.
to say they get excited about it now, but I want to instill that is important to do.
Absolutely,
I don't care
absolutely.
who you vote for.
I think
don't
it's all
care
of
what
our
your views
responsibility.
are.
Yeah,
You have
So,
no right to complain if you're not out.
straight like that, you know. I'm not even going to ask you who you voted for. My granddad told me a long time ago.
No,
Never
no,
ask. That's none of
let's
your
not
business.
discuss
Don't do
politics.
that. But I will say, I do want to say congratulations to my man, Mike Berlucci. Mike just
Yes.
actually got elected to city council. Shout out to Mike. I actually grew up with Mike, so
Right.
I've known him since we were in the 6th grade. Got appointed to city
And
council.
he won by quite a bit. I
Oh, he
believe.
killed
Yeah.
it. He killed it. But you know what? I like the change that we're seeing because no longer it's like strictly politics. I can say that Mike has grown up in Virginia Beach. Like I said, we went to school together, 4th, 5th, 6th grade, something like that. I don't even
Right.
remember. But I think we're getting people in office now who actually care about our city, you know, and they care about the people in the city. So it's no longer just politics as usual. I think we're seeing a changing of the guard. I mean, I still like the people we have who've
Right.
been there from the past, but it is what it is. So shout out to Mike. I know his holidays are going to be great. He's on a high. I'm excited about what he's going to do. And we got people, Mike, Aaron, everybody else on city council. I'm just excited where we're going as a city. Speaking of the holidays, let me ask you this though. What's up with this trend of going from Halloween to Christmas? Like, did we just straight
Yeah,
skip
I'm
Thanksgiving?
not on board with that. I think Cheyenne's not here because she wants to play Christmas music starting,
That
November
child
1st.
was in the office the other day playing Christmas music, and I think I had to put her out. I was getting ready to put her out. Like I can't even mess with it,
No,
man. Like,
I
bro,
don't
can
get
we
it.
just go from?
Let me just.
Can we follow
yeah.
the pattern? You know, we go Halloween, we go Thanksgiving. I want some sweet potato pie. Like, why we got to
I
go
love
straight
Thanksgiving. That's
to
a day
to
of doing
fruitcake,
nothing and watching football.
Which I'm probably one of the only people who actually eats fruitcake.
Ew,
But
that stuff's
don't ew me.
disgusting.
Why you got to do me like? Now I got to be
Oh.
old.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
We doing that, Elba? Okay. All right. I digress. You know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm gonna say this though. I do remember. Don't get me fan. I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Grinch. I like Christmas, but
I'm
let's
not
just
either,
let's
but
go
let's-
through the
yes.
progressions. Can we get Thanksgiving? Can we get the family together?
Yes.
Like,
I would like to do that. Then we can worry about like putting up decorations and listening to
thank
Christmas
you.
music.
Yo, people literally are putting out. I was in the
too
store the
much.
other day, and it was literally all Christmas stuff.
Christmas is way extra this year, so
They doing too
how I
much, but I'll say this: at least on Thanksgiving and Christmas, you get with the family, you get a little bit dressed up, and we just have a good time with each other. So actually, we're getting ready to bring our guest on for this month. So this is our second month having a guest.
Very exciting.
Yeah, our guest this month.
Some good information.
Boy, oh boy, tons of information. Like,
you have lots of questions for him, I'm sure.
Oh, I have a ton of questions for him. But actually going back to what we said about being dressed up, every time I see this dude, he be having me rolling because he stays dressed to the nine to shoot. Man, I'm hoping we can get a shot of the shoes.
You just seen his coat today. It was nice.
The coat?
Yeah.
Nah, did you see the rhinestone cowboy boots? My man is off the blickers with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But look, so our first guest this month, we actually have a credit repair specialist.
Right.
We have the owner of Credit Kwando, and we will go into that name to figure out what. My man said, "What the?" So my man Dwayne Jenkins is coming on. So hey, everybody in here, let's all welcome Dwayne to the podcast.
Yay.
Let's go, big dog.
All right, get over here.
Come on, Dwayne. It's cold, man. Dwayne Jenkins, Credit Kwando.
There it is. About to Jackie change your credit score.
Okay. Is that the motto?
I mean, Bruce Lee. I might need to clear with their estate, right? Before I use the name.
Let's definitely not. We definitely don't want to get in any trouble
From
over
beyond
here.
the grave, right? Because he is one of my favorite dudes. I don't want to upset him.
Great guy. We claim no
You
rights
met
to.
him? You met him? How do you know
Never.
he's a great guy?
I don't know. I mean, he seems like a great
He
person.
He does.
Dwayne,
All
Credit
right.
Kwando, credit repair specialist.
Yes.
Tell me, man, a little bit about yourself. How you get started? How did you end up in credit repair? Because look, before you even go into that, I want to. So there's two things that I think that is the new wave, right? Number one is youth sports. I feel like everybody and their mama has a youth sports team, football team, basketball team, whatever.
Right.
And then credit repair specialist. There's a whole lot.
Oh, it's crazy.
But give me the skinny. Give me the real.
Man,
How'd you even get into it?
Man, listen, being a victim. I mean, just really being a victim, man. Just having jacked up credit myself and just bouncing around and not really having, my values in order. Really being the poster child for the typical person that I help. And it's more than just fixing an issue. It's, when we talk about credit,
Dwayne, pull the mic to you.
Bam.
Make sure we hear it because they got to get
mic
this.
check,
Because
1 2.
I've heard this from Dwayne before, and I'm telling you,
What?
you got to hear
Jigga man. Let me stop.
Ooh, man. Go ahead, though.
All right,
Keep let them know.
So let's touch on a couple things. Let's talk about like all these, credit repair specialists just coming out of the woodwork. So really, there's a company out here, and I'm not going to call them out by name, but it's literally like a multi-level marketing thing where, okay, I have bad credit. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we fix your credit and you start fixing someone else's credit? And it's just like,
Is that what they're doing now?
That's really what they're doing. Like, okay, you sought out somebody's help for credit restoration Monday. They're like, yo, why don't you be an agent and you're helping people Tuesday? It's like if you got out of prison by 9 a.m., you could be slinging credit by noon. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
It's slinging credit.
It is crazy slinging credit. So
I'm dead weak.
But I mean, here's the thing. I want to keep it positive. So, if you're getting help about credit, we just want to make sure you're going in the right direction. So at least services like that get the word credit on your mind. So, I guess the difference is when somebody's been through it, been in the trenches themselves, and they have a testimony, maybe they could take you in the right direction. 75 and a 55. Fast,
Okay.
right? And that's what I'm really here to do.
Gotcha. So look, let me ask you this, Dwayne. I know your story is pretty amazing. Like I said, you told us before. So for just full disclosure, Dwayne is one of our preferred vendors at the Coastal Concierge Group here. In regards to credit repair,
Right.
And you told us your story again, how this really, you had bad credit. You figured out how to get your
Very
credit
bad.
right, and now, what'd you say? Your Mustang caught on fire.
You know what? It's amazing that I can laugh about it now, but it's just crazy. And I could tell you a story before it actually caught on fire. So I had so many electrical issues with that car, and it got to a point where, all right, you know how daylight savings time happens, right? And it gets dark an hour early. So for whatever reason, my headlights weren't working on the Mustang. So we just had daylight savings times, and I'm literally in Walmart with like a cart full of groceries, and I'm just like chilling, whatever lines we was loading. I notice the sun starts going down, and I'm just like, man, do I get these groceries? Do I head home? What do I do, man? So I think I got the essentials, man. I think I got like my meats and my ice cream, and I dip out.
So look,
it's crazy.
because it caught on fire eventually.
It
And
caught
you
on
said you couldn't
fire,
even buy
man.
another car, and that's how
and
you.
fuego. Credit was so bad, man. Listen, I probably couldn't. I tell people I couldn't finance a Snickers with a Twix as collateral, man. That's where I was at. And I mean, here's what was really crazy about it is that I was a debt collector, right? So if I was in any other profession, maybe I could have ignored
Hold on. Your credit was shot,
Yeah.
but you was collecting other people's debt.
and telling you about yourself when I did it. Telling you about yourself. But you know what? When we went on our breaks or whatever, I knew that my situation was worse than yours. So if I'm calling you names, what do I see in the mirror?
Yeah.
So just during that time, I started researching credit repair, and I decided to switch teams.
Gotcha.
And yeah, here we are.
Cool. So look, let me ask you this: when you what was some of the things you wish you had known when you first started out in the business, in the industry, doing this?
Oh, wow. We could go so many different directions with that question. But I think that the biggest thing is that I wish I had known that it would be more Dr. Phil than Dr. Finance.
Okay.
Because when I see a situation on somebody's credit, there's usually a story behind it. And I mean, we could get really deep on that. I don't want to go dive too deep into it, but basically it starts off with happiness versus fulfillment. You know, we're programmed from an early age just as human beings to go after things that make us happy. And happiness is a word that we're always trying to, it's something we always aspire to, but really happiness is short-lived and we want fulfillment.
Okay.
Happiness is like the spark when you light a cigarette. Fulfillment is like the Olympic torch. It's long burning. So that's what we want to go for. So I think it's just like right there. So if I could take an analogy, I mean, when you think about it, I had a friend throw me a birthday party, and part of that, it was a surprise party, and we had a piñata. So what they did, they blindfolded me. They gave me a stick, and they told me to go after this piñata. And that's so much like when we start off in high school. You know, we learn about algebra and calculus, but we don't learn about checkbooks and credit.
Okay.
So it's like you get a stick, you have a blindfold, and you're trying to hit a target, and you don't even know what's in it. So, you know, we want to give people some sight. We want to remove that blindfold, and we want to give them some direction because these things are so important.
Gotcha. So going back to what we were talking about earlier, so many people doing credit repair, and
Yeah.
there's so many credit repair specialists. What kind of separates you from the other people in the industry doing the same thing? Everyone has options. Like, why credit Kwando?
Yeah. So the way I grew up, and then, you know, as talking to people and taking on more customers, I realized a lot of people grew up this way, is that finances, again, it wasn't discussed in high school. It's hard for a parent to teach their child about something they don't know about. And, you know, it just goes generational. It's a generational deficiency. So, you know, I was taught to be secretive about things. You know, we don't discuss how much we make. We don't discuss what is credit. You know, if you ask for something, you get it. The answer is yes or no. So I just wanted, for lack of a better word, a goofy name that made people feel more comfortable. It's like, oh, wow, Credit Kwando. Look at that dog in a karate uniform. You know, I feel comfortable talking about
So
this.
is it something like, if somebody goes to credit repair, like they go to one company over here, you know, let's just say some other service or something like
Sure.
that, and they're working with you. What's the difference between the two? Is there anything you do different that maybe someone else does? Or I know we deal with a lot of different mortgage lenders, and they all
Right.
have their in-house credit repair. Like, again, how do you help that average consumer versus just anybody else off the street who's saying, hey, I can do this too.
Focusing on speed and results primarily. Everybody has a proprietary way of going into things and deep diving with customers, but ultimately my motto is to treat everybody like I've treated, like I would want to be treated.
Okay.
I think a separator too is that, again, we talk about a lot of people who are enthusiastic about quickly getting into the industry. I think one separator is, hey, you can see my credit score if you want to see it.
Okay.
You can see it from the jump.
So you're fully transparent with everything,
Absolutely.
with everyone you work with. So,
Absolutely.
Because I do know there are credit repair specialists out here who are repairing, like you said, when you were debt collector, they're helping other people repair their credit,
Right.
and they got a
Right.
430.
I would teach you how to swim from drowning myself.
Can you have a 430?
You could actually have a 300.
A 300. Okay.
You could
so
actually
that's
have a 250. You can have a 250 credit score, yeah.
So is that kind of like when you take your SATs and you just gotta, you
for
sign
writing your
name,
name,
and you get 100 or something like that?
Absolutely, it's crazy. Yeah.
So look, you touched on something earlier. You were saying that when you were growing up, because it was the same thing in my household.
Okay.
I think it's a you said generational. I think it may also be in certain cultures or whatever.
Sure.
We don't discuss credit,
right?
We don't discuss finance. It was
right.
like you stay in a child's place. So there was a lot of things that I never learned, I never understood until I became an adult and had to figure it out on my own, because they don't teach you that in high school. Like I can tell you what the nucleus of a mitochondria is, but in going into was that the right word? I don't know, something like that. But that's what we was talking about in school. But what we were
hypochondriac, like it was it. It is cold in here. I think that has something to do.
But look, at the end of the day, we weren't discussing how to balance the check.
Sure.
We weren't discussing the importance of credit. For me, 10 years ago, I went to go rent a house, and they told me, bro, you don't even have no credit, because I was always so cash heavy. I done everything cash. If I didn't have it, I didn't do it. Why is credit so important?
All right, so let's go back to the piñata analogy, right? You're swinging at something with a stick. You don't even know if you want what's inside that thing, but you're told to go after it because you don't know any better. Mm-hmm. You have no way to get there. So here's what happens. You're paying $1,000 of rent, and then one of your friends says, hey, $1,000 a month, you could have a house for that. So then you go to a loan officer, and then they say, hey, well, your credit is not where we need it to be to get you a house. So now that blindfold comes off. Okay. Now you have a target, but that stick you were swinging that whole time, you've actually damaged things along the way, your credit, and now we need to go back and fix it and see what we can do. We need to undo things that you didn't know you were even damaging. So a big part of my focus is education more than anything else.
Gotcha.
I don't want repeat customers.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So for somebody who is looking to fix their credit, what's the first place that they should start with their credit goals?
I think that they should take their heads out of the sand, so to speak, and they should just look at their credit score. Mm-hmm. In many cases, it may not even be as bad as you think it is. And I'll tell you what, regardless of what's going on with it, once you get to the point where you can understand why the way it is and how credit works, you can take it from there. Look at your credit.
So in regards to looking at their credit, are there avenues that people can take without necessarily having to go to a credit repair specialist? Sure. Starting off, what is it? Annual credit report?
Annualcreditreport.com is a place that you can use every 12 months to get one copy of your credit report from each of the major bureaus.
Okay.
I prefer to have a monitoring service so they can update you as the periodic changes when they happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's the average length of time for the people that you work with?
Some people take longer. Each situation is individualized, but I would say on average 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So look, because I run into a lot of people. We all do.
Sure.
We talk to probably about 30, 40 people every day.
Yes.
And out of that, maybe 20% need credit repair. So for somebody who is looking to get credit repair, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Find me on Facebook. Credit Kwando in the search box. You'll go right to the page. Will Jackie chain your credit? Come to credit.
Well, Jackie chain your credit. I love that.
Come to Credit Kwando. Get your credit Kwando.
Kwando with a K, right? Kwando.
Thai Kwando. Take out the Thai. Put the credit in there. Get ready to buy.
Awesome. I love it. Dwayne, Appreciate you, bro.
My man.
Appreciate you. Hey,
All right,
look, I don't know if we can. I ain't gonna. Never mind. I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna tell him. Let me see the shoes, but I didn't go. Hey, you put your.
Hey.
Let me see the shoes.
Listen.
Credit Kwando. Hey, my man, stay fresh.
Ouch.
My man, stay fresh.
Look, I tried to.
Dwayne.
All right,
man.
man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Always, man.
Awesome.
Definitely. Thank you.
Awesome. Look, Dwayne, man, I'm telling you, boy, this boy is off the chains, man. So look, y'all know each month we got one of our agents coming on, and this one right here is special. I think I actually might get a little sentimental. Cool. Meggie D.
What's up?
Meggie D. For those of y'all that don't know, I have known Megan. God, let me see. When do you go to middle school? 12? Something like that? 12,
yeah.
13?
Yeah, 11.
Can you believe we've known each other since we were 12
No.
years old?
Nope. You're probably the only person I've known this long from middle school on.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
Crazy
I
how
don't
it
even know
goes,
how that
but I mean,
Thanks, Facebook.
this right here, right? Facebook, look, for those of y'all who don't know, Facebook connects people in real ways.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
we went to middle school together, high school together. And I remember one day I saw you post something about getting into real estate.
Yep.
And I immediately reached out and was like, look, if you ever need anything, just let me know. Now, obviously, I was in a different position at that time. I was on the team myself, so obviously it wasn't something where I was like, hey, come in and let's do it. But just describe your journey through real estate thus far.
So this far, I had been wanting to do real estate for well over 10 years. I had stopped working with my second kid, and I just decided we had such a bad experience with our first home buying that it kind of, lit that little bit of a fire.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was sort of what really took me was I ran into this guy at St. Patrick's Day, which if you don't know yet, but St. Patrick's Day is like my Christmas.
Oh, I can imagine.
St. Patrick's Day. That is my jam. I love it. I've been going to OV parade for like 17 years. And we just happened to run into this guy.
You're probably the queen of the OV parade.
I probably am. I should be. I do want to do the Masters of Ceremony at the VFW, so I have that working for me. We'll see.
Let's go. Did y'all hear that, VFW? She's coming.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But no, so I ran into this guy who was a real estate agent, and I was explaining, I was running into roadblocks as to, what company to go with, like how to go through the schooling. And
I remember this.
So yeah,
I
he
followed
kind
you
of
the
put me in
whole-
the direction,
yeah.
and I went through it. I interviewed with him and his company for a couple of times, and I actually signed on with them. And then I got going over there, and it just wasn't. I wasn't feeling the connection.
Yeah.
And then so I had another friend who was starting her own brokerage. I thought, hey, it's in Chesapeake. Why not give it a shot?
Yeah.
But then again, that wasn't working out. And then it was sort of like, how you will things into fruition. You reached out to me at a time where I was like, do I stay in this? Because it's just nothing. It's not working.
That's so crazy because going back to that Facebook connection, so I followed you the whole time. I've always been keeping tabs. You're the homie. I always want to make sure you're doing well. So I just happened to one day it popped up and I just saw an ad you had for something. And, we're still the new kid on the block. We only 9 months old, but something said, reach out to Megan, see how she's doing, and I still remember where did we meet? Like Starbucks.
You
We
and
met at
Jessica,
Starbucks. Yeah,
Starbucks.
actually
Of all
Jessica was
places.
there.
Yeah, Jessica.
Me and you and Jessica
walked
met
in.
at
I was like,
Starbucks and I just knew where we did, what we wanted to go, and just knowing you and your personality, I was like, just reach out. And I'll say this, I am so glad you brought a whole other dynamic to the team, just your personality, your laugh. I love every time you laugh, I can just get so weak, it's so infectious. So just a little bit about you, I mean, dude, you've been married, what, 20 years?
I've been with my husband for 20 years. We
20
just celebrated
years.
our 17th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, I met him when I was 19, right out of high school at Waterman's. We all have been there.
Waterman's.
You know Waterman's.
Any of y'all from VB, you know what it is.
Attic upstairs. Yep.
Yeah.
So he came in looking for a job. He had just gotten out of the Coast Guard, and I was like, that's it. And so here we are 20 years later.
That's awesome. So the big thing for me is when I first reached out to you is knowing that connection you have with the community because you are so family oriented. It's just what is it that gets you up every morning? And obviously your family is hugely important to you, you know.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
you know, what, 2 daughters?
2 girls. I have a 15 and almost 11 and a half, almost 12. So
Uh-huh.
that's crazy. But yeah, what gets me up in the morning is really just knowing that, you know, I want to do things that they, you know, like to do. Like I have a daughter who plays volleyball. So, you know, that's money. That's expensive. Kids aren't cheap.
Right.
But no, I mean, I get up every morning because, you know, I know that I want them to be able to have the experiences that maybe I didn't get.
Yeah.
And so real
Yeah.
estate is kind of affording me that opportunity to be able to do that for them. Because before when I had my second, I stopped working.
Okay.
And that was a shock to the budget. And how that was going to work. And so, you know, I did things here and there. I do a lot of volunteering within my kids' school. I was secretary of PTA.
That was a
So,
huge part because
yeah.
one of the big things here at the Coastal Concierge Group obviously is that community service and the
Right.
volunteering and give back. That was my thought. You know, I was like, look,
Mm-hmm.
we got to get Megan because you know, I know you, I follow you, I know your personality. It was like, we need that person who's going to spearhead that community involvement piece, you know.
Right.
And
Yeah, I find a lot of value because, I mean, I feel that, you know, if I can give back to somebody, then it's going to just come back that, you know, tenfold. So
Yeah.
what I can do and, you know, being a part of my kids' lives right now, because as they get older, they want less and less of you around. So if I can just force myself into their lives, then what are they going to do?
As they don't need you, we do, because you've definitely exceeded expectations.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
I mean, so how does it feel coming in? Because I think, you know, and I know you were at a couple other places, but I'm pretty sure that with us this year, you've probably done what you did the previous
Exactly.
3 years.
Yeah, that's true. Because, I mean, I just felt like I wasn't really a part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always kind of wanted that as far as the environment goes. And just after our initial onset talking, you just made it, you were clicking all the little boxes that I was, you know, looking for.
Yeah.
And that was really the beginning of knowing that you're not in this just for yourself. You're in this for the rest of us.
It's for
and
y'all.
I
It's
think
all
that's,
of us,
that's
man.
not everybody's mentality.
Yeah.
And so it comes through, you know, so big with you. And that's what, you know, really is kind of what made it be that much better. Because I kind of was on the fence. I was like, oh, you know, rebranding, redoing
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this, that, and the other. But no, you've made it just be even more than what I could have imagined. So that was like,
Well,
I'm so glad I took that step.
It's all of us, like I said, and I'm so appreciative that you made that choice, and you're rocking and rolling. The growth we've seen is just amazing. You just add such a different vibe to it. You look,
You're trying to get me to laugh. I know
you
what
know I
you're
want
doing.
to. And they gotta see the laugh, man. Just what you bring to us and what we do. So, you know, we're just gonna keep rocking and rolling and doing our thing and helping as many people as we can. You know, at the end of the day, it's like we say, you know, what can we do for you? So
Yeah, and that's so true. I mean, that's exactly what this has been. It's been amazing. Like, I honestly, you have support of not just you. I mean, I have a great team: Jessica, Cheyenne, Elba, Dave, all of them. It's just great. And then, you know, you throw Emily in there, and she makes everything seamless. At least it comes from, you know, what it appears to everybody else that I'm working with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's really true. I have a full backing. So when I sit there and I talk to clients, I know that what I'm saying is because of what I have the support of. So
I
it's
love
just
it,
been
man.
it's been
I
fantastic.
love it. So we're just gonna keep it rolling, man. Like I for real, I could do this all day, you know, but we gotta roll. Look, we gotta get back to it. We got more people
Gotta
to
rock and
help.
roll.
So
yes. Gotta make some
we're-
phone calls.
Absolutely. There it is. Straight like that, you know. So we're going to wrap this thing up. But, yeah, check back with us next month. We still need a name. There it is. I got it.
He's going to do it one way or
I knew I was
another.
going to get that head to drop back. But we got it. So we're gonna wrap it up, man. And we'll see y'all next month. Again, just tons of content coming. So we love it. What can we do to help? You know, what can we do for you? And let's just keep it going. You know, you guys, hey, give us your feedback. Let us know.
Podcast name and any credit questions.
Yeah. So anybody who has questions about credit, podcast, post it on Facebook, YouTube. We'll be on, find us on Instagram, the Coastal Concierge Group.
We'll address it in podcast.
Drop a note in the comments. Yeah, let us know what you want to. Guys, let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. We'll make it happen for you. So we're going to wrap this thing up, and we'll see y'all next month. We out.
Sweet.